Hello. Good evening. Yeah. Good evening. And I guess it's afternoon there. What? Morning. Yeah, morning. So how are
Yep.
you doing?
Fantastic. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful
fine.
day.
So yeah. Yeah, and yeah, we're having Gant Laborde. Yeah, right?
Yep.
Am
Yep.
I correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So he's a Google developer expert, a CIO, and a Cloudinary MDE, an
hmm
author, and he's a developer also. He's an open source. Please, can you tell me more about yourself?
About CIO or about
Yeah, I mean yourself.
about me. Well,
Yeah,
you've named all the major things. Open source is fantastic. I get to develop and communicate and speak with a bunch of people. Um, Build some really cool stuff. And then at Infinite
yeah,
Red, we do consulting. So that's one of the things that we are, it pays the bills, and it's also the underlying drive for figuring out new and better ways to do stuff. So
yeah,
a lot of the stuff I talk about comes from real world experience building something.
yeah, yeah. Interesting. Though, I've seen most of your tweets, and when
Nice.
did you start coding?
Oh, so my dad did not like computers at all. So there were a lot of people who got early starts, and I was not one of them. Well, I mean, I guess in today's standards, I was not one of them. So I didn't know anything about computers for the longest time because we didn't have one. And then one day, my neighbor, Frank von Hoven, who actually I work with now, came over and he made my dad's work computer, which we weren't supposed to be on. He made it say "Hi Gant." So when he did that, I was like, "Wait a second! I grew up in a world of Nintendo games and TV, all of this like one direction communication, and then he made it, like where he
Yeah,
affected what it said, and it blew my mind. And um, when I was a freshman in high school, I decided I want to get a computer, and then I started learning about it a lot. So I want to say in about 1999, I started actually really, really digging into programming hard, and I got my first professional job programming in 2000. So I'm old.
wow,
I was
interesting.
programming before you were born.
Yeah, that's funny, boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's interesting though.
Yeah.
You started programming before I was born, and yeah. So what have you done? I can see your keynote sessions. I can see them
Yeah.
via YouTube. I've seen them. Yeah.
Nice.
So how about your keynote? How did you go about that?
When speaking, I was really afraid of speaking. So I started programming in early, in the 90s, but I
Yeah.
got my first
Or what do
professional
you
job.
do? Okay, okay.
And then,
I said,
and then,
how about your keynote sessions? How do you go about that?
oh
How did
yeah.
you learn? How did you? Yeah.
Well, the keynote sessions, as far as like kind of getting those, that's a network of something I've been working on for a long time, with public speaking. So if you go speak at conferences and meetups, I think that the way it works is you start speaking at a local meetup, and then you start speaking at conferences, and then if you speak at enough conferences, you get to be an invited speaker, and then once you're an invited speaker, you get some keynote spots. So I think that's the progression. You need to start speaking at meetups,
Yeah.
then conferences, then invited, then keynote. And so that seems to be the path of how I kind of got there. It's just been a lot of talking. I talk a lot, and it just continues to progress till you get keynote spots. Oh, sounds like a. Did you lose me there on the internet? I think we might have lost you there.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's mine. I think my country is a kind of country whereby internet connection is not really good.
But I
Yeah.
tell you, it happens to
So
me too
when did you
right
start?
now. Yeah.
But it's not like us. We don't. Our internet connection here is very poor. So let's talk about coding and the future of coding, as that's the
Yeah.
main stuff we'll be talking about here.
Yeah.
So let's
Sorry, you're cutting out.
talk about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's mine. Okay, let me check something.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm here now. I'm here.
Okay, good. Told everybody to stop downloading on your internet, huh?
So let's get to the main.
Don't know if I am still being broadcasts while you are frozen, so I'll just say hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. There's a chance that Opemipo might be frozen, which means that it's time to read dad jokes. Let's do that. Okie dokie. I'm be coming back. Hey,
Hello. Yeah.
welcome back.
Yeah. I think it's something there. Yeah. So let's continue. Let's continue what we're saying. Let's
Yep,
talk about the
sounds good.
future of coding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything specific you want to chat about on that? Any
Yeah. We just
parameters?
talk about we just talk about coding and AI. Coding and
Sure.
AI,
Yeah.
the future. Yeah. So let's get started.
Yeah. Well, specifically, developers who don't currently work with AI will be working with AI in the next 5 years, whether we like it or not. AI is going
Yeah.
to be minified and placed into everything, sort of like the invention of websites again. Um, Everybody said, "Oh, I don't need a website" when websites first came out. Not everybody needs a website, and now everybody needs a website. Dogs have websites,
Yeah.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
a page, So
Yeah.
in the future, I see the same thing with coding. You're like, oh, I won't need coding for this. I won't need that. But AI is going to help and replace some of the operations that's kind of key. Like, honestly, I've seen AI start writing tests. So, what's something that people hate doing? They hate writing tests. They hate doing QA. AI will be doing that. AI will be a big piece of everything that we're working with.
The
One of the
network
key.
is not good here, and
Oh
you
yeah,
can just continue what you were saying.
yeah. Um, our CEO says that pretty soon drop downs are going to have AI built into them. It's just you're going to have a filtering order that's based specifically for you, and that's sort of like an eye opening moment. Is that in the future of coding, you'll have to understand these grandiose concepts so that you can apply them properly to to build products. Just like everybody's expected to understand web and mobile now as well. Understanding that people are looking at possibly watching us right now on their phone or on a tablet rather than on a computer. It's sort of this strange understood action that you should at least be able to hold your own in the terminology and the key concepts of AI. And that's going to really significantly alter the style of programming and coding for the future. If you're listening to this and you're afraid because you don't know anything about AI, then what I would say to do is you can get that terminology today. It's not really that hard. It's just kind of hidden because it's new. And so I don't know if you know this, but I actually have a free online course, and it's in 3 languages. It's in English. It's in
Yeah,
I think
very
it's
easy. Yeah.
Shelly, and it's also in actually I pull it up, but it's in a South African language. It's in Zulu as well. So it's a free course on academy.infinite.red. There's no excuse for anybody not to take it. I mean, we'll get it translated to any language anybody wants, because I think that's important for helping everybody out. You go to academy.infinite.red and you get a certificate as well for completing the course. So I think that getting the terminology is very important now, because no one knows what exactly coding will look like in 5 years. We just know that it's going to significantly include AI. So I think I could actually provide real quick the courses right there. View all courses. Yeah, it's in Zulu and
Yeah.
Shona and English. So I'll put it here in the chat in case you want to share it with the notes after this live session.
So what have you been working on? Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me? Not sure you can hear me. Hi, can you hear me? Pretty wild over here. Apparently that did not land. Okay. Well, you would have noticed if you saw that.
Yeah. So in
Yeah, it must be an internet complication.
the changes from hello?
Yes, I hear you now. Oop. Looks like I lost you. So here's a joke. My wife says I have only 2 faults. I don't listen and something else. All right. Tough audience, tough audience. Let's see here. Just got hired by a company that makes bicycle wheels. I'm the spokesperson.
Yeah, so I'm back here. I think the network here wasn't good. Yeah, so
There you
what do
are.
you think? Yeah, so what are the changes of artificial coding now from 5 years to now? What are the changes you've seen in coding and AI?
Oh, from 5 years ago to now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say that 5 years ago, no one actually worried about. I mean, honestly, if you take a look at it, 2015, very few people were in AI, and that was the birth of sort of the data science. A lot of data scientists and getting paid ridiculous salaries. Data scientists make tons of money. But say in the coding difference, we focused significantly now on edge devices in the past 5
Yeah, for
years.
example,
Yeah. You were gonna say? But in the past 5 years, I think that one of the key aspects here is we've
yeah. So
seen.
for example, we have kids like Sanmi Bakshi, and we have even myself. We've been creating things with AI. So,
Nice.
how do you think kids will be using AI in the future?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if people like us are using it now.
Mhm. So kids, AI, future. I'll say quite specifically that
Hello?
yeah, hey. Um, so you're saying how will kids interact with AI in the future? I believe, and um, one of the things that I think is very valuable is that I think that children require a ridiculous amount of attention and energy, proper education, identifying where they are in their sort of developmental stages, and sort of like it's very hard for each person to become an expert in exactly how they should be teaching for any particular age or any kind of particular development. Having a 10-month-old daughter myself, from week to week, it's like watching Alexa download new upgrades. Like, whoa, when did you learn that? Should I be doing something to help develop that? Um, there are tons of blog posts that are about kind of like what aspect you should be focusing on. And I think like for children, young and at all ages during huge hyper developmental periods, AI is the thing that can keep up. Tired parents get tired. AI doesn't. And I think that helping teach the future generations about code, about progress, and about what's a curriculum that's curtailed to them and not just the classroom is a complete capability. Again, I'm seeing us return to some of the things that were 200 years ago. If you take a look at 200 years ago, people lived where they worked, and educational groups were small and organized towards actually the audience. And then we've reached some kind of mass uniformity with everybody commutes to work and there's a curriculum that all students should actually understand and know, and it's regardless of intellectual or motivational differences between people. AI doesn't have to be limited that way. So as far as like for children, I think that it can be very customized. I think it can be very adjusted. And then for teaching people how to code, learn, educate, very excited by that aspect. I think that in any place that's high personal care, AI is a great opportunity to increase the quality of living for everyone, and that's really what we should be aiming for. That each of us get a bump in our quality of living by this automated assistance, and that's the way we'll never run out of jobs. If we increase our quality of life, there's always a new job. So everybody who's afraid that AI is taking jobs away, I think that one of the things is, as a human being, we have this inevitable next step that we'd like to approach, and we're all in it together to reach that. So yeah, I think that for AI for students, especially on the education front and healthcare front, is going to be quite significant, and it's going to be because it's customized specifically to people.
Yeah, for example, the way I see AI is that somehow AI is not going to be replacing the works of people. For example, yeah, because without humans, I don't think artificial intelligence can't work, and we are the one that implements the codes, like with the codes of the specific application. Do you get that? The application you're trying to build with artificial intelligence, because we've seen applications like NQLA system by Tanmi Bakshi. He also created a NQLA system, and health. It seems an healthcare app or a search engine, yeah, a kind of search engine for AI. So without people creating so providing solutions, so I don't think artificial intelligence will work. So what do you think about that? AI replacing people's jobs? How do you think that's going to be?
Well, I'm very opinionated about that. I don't think the measurement of jobs is the measurement that's correct for people. What's funny is nations like to measure things in jobs. States like to measure things in jobs. I like to measure the well-being of like our life's art. So, funny enough, one of the things that happens on this is that someone says we created 15,000 jobs, right? That doesn't mean people are happy. That just means that they can kind of fit as a cog in a system, and the system wants that. So, for instance, when Blockbuster went away, which, by the way, in the States is where we used to get our videos, and then Netflix came around, which is now streaming video, for everyone. A lot of
Yeah, I'm
jobs
saying
went
something
away.
like that now.
Yeah, yeah, but those jobs that went away were someone sitting behind a desk, mostly just making sure people weren't stealing. you know, um, that's not really like that person's highest quality of living, right? Well, and some people might argue that that person was able to be there to have a conversation with other people to talk about videos and stuff like that. Now, those of us who used to go to Blockbuster know that's not true, but that's not taken away. That's still there. As a matter of fact, if anything, now people are more connected to be able to talk about videos, to talk about a specific episode, and they can find through this medium the right people to enjoy the things that we actually enjoy. Go do what you love. And that doesn't have to be a job. That can be a job. You're lucky if it can be a job in today's society. But we're reaching a point where we've kind of looked at for a long time where if the quality of life increases far enough, then there's a whole aspect of what will people do when they don't have to work? What are the creative? What are the outlets? Where can you be effective? And so I think that like we're taking a look at you know when a job goes away. I think that as long as we're constantly focused on the right thing, which I think is like our quality of life and our friendship and our interaction between our humanity, I don't care about that number of jobs. I care more about having significant positive impact. And with AI, that's possible. So if you're looking at jobs specifically, AI is very scary. If you're looking at the quality of living, AI is magical. Um, so I think that where we're
Yeah,
coming
very,
in
very.
together, that's the key. What are your goals? Is your goal to go to a job and work and not like it, or is it to do what you want to do? That's your creative, your life's art, the thing that you really really enjoy with the people that you love. Is that what you want? And I think everybody's got the same answer. We're all looking to be happy. So why are we measuring this in jobs? I think that we want to do something bigger and better than ourselves.
I think AI. AI can't even replace humans.
Hmm.
I think yeah, AI can replace humans in the sense that can you look at Sophia, the robot, artificial intelligence. If you look at the way she responds, the way she her culture and everything, if you look at it, it's something like it isn't like interactive like the way humans are. It's not interactive like the way
Right.
humans are, the way it talks and all that. If you look at it, it means, if you look at the way it works, it means AI can't replace works, humans
Hmm.
works. Yeah, if you
Hmm.
look at that.
Yeah.
So you were talking about something the other. AI, what can AI be used for to build?
What kind of AI do you use for what? Sorry. Can you repeat the question? Just what was that part about AI?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, I said what can AI be used to build? Like what applications or what can it be used to build? We know it can be used to build
Oh, what can it be used to build?
things
Yeah.
like robots and QLA systems. You can use it to build
Oh
software
yeah.
applications.
Hmm. Yeah.
Can use it. So what can it be used in building?
Yeah, it could be used. So anything. So there are three types of. Well, I'll say three top categories of AI. Right now, the most popular and the most actually advanced is called supervised learning. And I'll describe supervised learning as if you took a person, smart, dedicated person, and you train them using examples and data. So let's say that you took a person who's just a smart but doesn't know anything about weddings, and you showed them a bunch of photos of different types of things at weddings and different styles of that stuff and different you know architecture and themes of that and the color palettes. After a while you would train that person with data to be able to identify and not only classify certain aspects of this particular business that they've never seen before. You would have them also be able to identify and like plan and get patterns that match new information, possibly even generate new like weddings based off of parameters that are kind of given to that person. And so this is if given a bunch of labeled data and they kind of prepare for that, and then essentially they have this way to sort of check themselves with this ready to go data set, then that's something that AI can do. So as long as you have labeled information that you could train a person with, that's something you can have AI do. So I'll say that the things that AI can build now are the things that we have data for that a person should do. And that's the easiest way to think of it. If instead of, and that person never tires, they never quit, they're always consistent, they're always getting better. So that's what we're able to do with the current aspects of supervised learning and AI, and that's the way I think that we can kind of think of that. But what other things we can do is
Yeah,
like,
so that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. So at IBM Think 2020,
Sorry, can you say that again? You say that one more time? Let's see. Well, can you repeat the question? Because so that was supervised learning. Um, and then we have unsupervised. and we
So
have
yeah, that's fine. IBM in IBM in 2020 we discussed on something, and that yeah, I said in IBM in 2020 we discussed on something. Hello, I said we
mhm.
discussed something in IBM in 2020, which is the misconception people have with AI and 5G. And
Oh, it appears that I am all alone again on the stream. So we all know what time that is for. That is the time for jokes. Let's see how this works. Let's see. I want to tell you about a girl who eats plants. You've probably never heard of herbivore. That's a really bad joke. It's really bad. Did you hear about the ATM that got addicted to money? It suffered from withdrawals. Ah, it looks like we might be back. Hey, Opemipo.
so I was Yeah, hello. Yeah, so I was talking about something, and that's the misconception people have with AI and 5G. So I don't think AI, no, sorry, 5G is related to AI in any way, like
Right.
that's going to cause a conflict to the world. So what do you think? What do you think about that? About the misconception people have with AI and 5G?
I think a lot of people are have a misconception about 5G. If we're talking about the network, the 5G network, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I don't know where this came from. I don't know why 5G has been attacked so much. It's been a pretty weird thing. Here in the States, we actually had some people saying that 5G was causing people to be susceptible to the coronavirus. I really don't know why there's been this. Uh, there's been sort of this conspiracy theory, and I don't know what funds it or fuels it because that would help out. You know, just like the saying goes, "Who benefits?" Right? Where is this kind of like 5G hate coming from? It's wild. I think that believe in science. You know, put your faith in reproducible, identifiable results, independent research, and being able to identify whether or not that's actually an issue or not. But yeah, I've seen that quite a bit. I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah. So we'll be going off in 3 minutes,
Uh-huh.
and I said we'll be going off in 3 minutes. I think, yeah. So
Awesome.
can you just tell me um what coding is going to be in the future with AI? How
Mhm.
coding and AI will be in a relationship in the future?
Yeah. So auto ML is a huge thing. Um, auto ML is the concept of presenting the data to a system above machine learning, where it will actually attempt to teach the AI system based off of that data to get the best model and get the best operations and train all the parameters. Anybody who's done any kind of machine learning before, you have to choose your learning rate, you have to choose your model, you have to choose whether you're going to do transfer learning or you're going to train from scratch. Um, and to a certain degree, you have to do this every time you do a project. So I think that there's a layer on top of this, which is auto ML, and then with like projects like MindsDB, you can sort of go on top of that, present your data, and then have it kind of come back with something that's reasonably significant, and then get that into your actual code. So I think as AutoML continues to advance, developers who are programming will be able to understand and work with that system sort of like as a co-programmer. And also, the AI will be more integrated into our development environments, writing tests, integrating with us specifically, and as sort of assisting us, and not only in a QA perspective, but in a significant move forward for um, sort of like helping us write our code. You will need a human interaction specifically for a long time, especially with this narrow intelligence. But you can do a lot better than that with AI helping you out. It's sort of the same way we see professionals like doctors using AI to help them along the process. We will have AI helping us as developers. And
Hello, I'm back
hey,
here.
yeah,
So I was
hopefully
actually
you,
thinking of working on. Hello.
yeah,
So I was thinking of working on something related to something like that will solve the power problem, the power problem of our country here, because the light is only stable, is the energy is only stable. So that's what I was thinking of doing with AI. That's how I
nice,
got into AI, and I was thinking of helping my country with the internet connection also. So that's why I just decided to bring this kind of topic. Yeah,
nice,
stock on. So
nice.
how do you think that can help? How
Uh,
do you think I go about that?
I'd say that one is identifying the context, like you understand the problem the best. So once you know the problem, and once you know the problem, the idea is like bring AI to it. I would say that what's funny is in the fast AI course, a lot of people who came from outside fields brought the context to their problems, then applied AI to it and solved all kinds of amazing things. And the one thing I say is that it doesn't matter how good I am at AI. If I don't understand your problem, then I can't fix it. And so what's great about it is that you understand where the limitations are and the parameters, because it's new. This is new for so many people. But your problem, you know it. You know exactly what you want to fix. And so if you go into the more you go into AI, and then you start applying it, start working with it, that's a great opportunity because you have all the information to set up the problem that you can solve using AI. So I think it's great that you're applying that, and I would suggest taking the Fast AI course or checking out MindsDB and doing AutoML, and then I find out what problems fit in there, and as long as you can get them to fit, you get an AI solution out. Because right now we need data. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah. So thanks very much. It's nice having you here, and I hope to have you here someday. And this is not the only time I'm going to have you, and I'm going to call you someday to have another session with me. So thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I think it's time to go. Right?
Sounds good. Works out.
Yeah. So can we just go?
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah.